So, as some of you may or may not know, some years back I lost my mom to cancer. Um, and what even fewer of you know is I lost her a long time before that due to an estrangement, due to stubbornness and pride and resentment and anger. And I let those things rob me of the relationship with my mom for probably close to the last 10 to 15 years of her life. And even for a good stretch amount of time before that, our relationship was strained at best. And that's something that I struggled with even before I became a Christian, and something that I struggled with probably even more after I became a Christian, because I learned that these are things that I needed to let go. I needed to uh, forgive. I needed to let go of grudges and resentments and things of that sort. And I wasn't doing that. And something that I really struggled with was, the whole idea, because she knew me as one type of person, and it wasn't a good person. And I always thought to myself, wonder what she would think if she saw me now. Would she be proud of who I am now? Uh, you know, a man who's trying to be a godly man, a man who's trying to have Jesus at the center of his marriage and his and his fatherhood, and have his kids be a part of that. I mean, that's important to me, and someone that's out there sharing the gospel with people that he meets and people that he works with. I just wondered, if that was something that she would be proud of. And uh, I know that's something that people struggle with, Christian or otherwise, about lost loved ones and whether or not they would be proud of what they're doing, or who they are, and things like that. And but in this case, it was really weighing on me, because I always wondered, would I have a chance to see her again? Would I have an opportunity, to look her in the eye, and whether words are spoken or not, and just she would just know that whatever was going on before didn't matter, because she was in heaven and I was in heaven. And so obviously whatever came between us before didn't matter anymore. And I always wondered if that opportunity would ever show itself. And because there was such a separation, physically, emotionally, in every other way, between me and her, I did not know who she was at that point in her life. And with everything that I've been taught and everything that I've read and everything that I've learned, I know that there is only one way to heaven. And I didn't know where she stood on that. And and it was just something that, in a selfish way, I thought, I wanted to be able to, for my own pride, be able to say, look, Mom, I've done this. But I didn't know that I would have that chance. And I felt it for all the wrong reasons. It was prideful, for my own peace of mind. But as I got closer and closer with God, and I moved along in my walk, it was something that still kind of stuck with me. And I always wondered, and I've been praying, whether or not I would have a chance to see her, whether or not she could see me, all that stuff. It's not really biblically based, or, anything like that, just hopeful. And, recently our church had a series of sermons dealing with forgiveness and relationships, and, things of that sort. And, I just, it came back to the forefront. I was praying really hard about whether or not, and I asked God, I said, God, I know it's not my place to know, and it's not our place to really know, I don't think, on this side of heaven, who is in heaven, because only God knows people's heart. And you want to think that people that you love are going to be there, but you don't know. And unless you're 100% sure where they stand, you don't know. And I didn't know, because I didn't even know that she was sick. And I didn't know she was sick until she was gone. And it it's something that I really wanted to know, because I just and it and I think finally this Sunday, uh, the uh, the sermon um, really hit me in a way where uh, I just when he said, there's people in this room that would stand up and say that, you know, and it was Mother's Day, obviously, and there's people in this room that would stand up and say that I know for a fact I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be where I am, I would, in some cases, I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for my mom praying for me. And the thing is I couldn't say that because I didn't know. And so in that moment, I really started praying, and I think I started praying about it again, the same thing, but I think it was coming from a different place, a right place. And in church that day, for those few, when I was praying and I was just asking God, you know, if my mom was proud of me, would she, if she was in heaven, God, I know it's not my place to know, and but if you could just tell me that she's there, and I'll have that opportunity, if I do the things I'm supposed to do here on earth, that I'll have that opportunity one day. And and then I felt a nudge to just pray that, that she was okay, that she knew that she was never far from my thoughts. And in that sanctuary, with the music playing and so many people praying about so many different things, and I just prayed about that. And I, God didn't tell me that, yes, your mother is here in heaven or anything like that. But I felt a warmth that I could only say was the Holy Spirit. And I've felt it before in that place and outside of that place, but I felt the Holy Spirit. And then I just felt a calm that made me know that my mom was at peace. And I know enough about the Bible, and I know enough about in my studies and in my walk with God, that for someone to have peace after death, that means only one thing. That means they are in heaven. And because if you're not in heaven, that means you're in hell, and that there is no peace, obviously, in hell. I mean, its name lends itself to the fact that there's obviously not going to be peace. So I just had this overwhelming feeling that she was at peace. And in that moment, I knew where she was. And, and I felt like I was right, that it wasn't my place to know, for God to just come out and tell me, yes, your mother's here, and if you do what you're supposed to, you'll see her. But I felt that it was it was God's way of just letting me know that she was at peace. And I also felt that he wanted me to know that she never stopped praying for me. And that was huge to me. And I'm not going to lie, I broke down. And it wasn't out of sadness, but it was out of happiness for her. And it was just one more example that when I went to God in the right way, in the right heart, in the right mind, that something that I was struggling with, he took away. And now I have no doubt in my mind that where my mom is right now. And I also have no doubt in my mind that where I'll be one day, and have that opportunity for her to see me and just know that that her prayers finally were realized. I just want to thank you all for listening.